sleeting, snowing, or whatever. We will be out here exposing. Who we exposing? Krasner. Krasner is responsible for Mumia Abu-Jamal being on death row now. Don't take my word for it. Check and see what Judge Leon Tucker said about Mr. Krasner in here. Mr. Liberal D.A. Krasner in here. That said he's going to be fair. He's fair to a lot of things, but he damn sure ain't fair to Mumia. He had the evidence months ago to release Mumia from prison, release Mumia from the hell that he's in. That's why we out here.
We're going to free Mumia Abu-Jamal. We're going to free Mumia Abu-Jamal.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we're going to free Mumia Abu-Jamal. Brick by brick, wall by wall, we're going to free Mumia Abu-Jamal.
Free Mumia!
Free Mumia!
Free Mumia now!
Free Mumia now!
Why Mumia is an intergenerational hero. And we have to continue that legacy. Back in 1995, I had the honor of meeting Sophia Bakari. She was able to speak at one of our party meetings about political prisoners. And after that meeting, she sat down and talked to us about, you all have to do more about Mumia.
That's right.
You all have to get more involved with Mumia's case. Now this was right before, I believe, the first death warrant was signed by Tom Ridge in August of 1995. And so when that death warrant was signed, and we met with Pam Africa too, in 95, and Sophia, and we had the National People's Campaign as a mass organization at the time, and we said we're going to do everything we can with the rest of the movement to mobilize as many people as possible to come out. I think it was August 12th. The death warrant was August 17th, which was Marcus Garvey's birthday, which is no coincidence, the great Marcus Garvey. And so we brought out at that time, and helped bring out 10,000 people, especially from Philadelphia, to stop that death warrant. Wow. That's what stopped the death warrant. It wasn't the courts. It was the people in the streets.
Yes.
He stopped that death warrant.
I bring the love from the Cook family. I was a high school kid in South Jersey. I really grew up here in Philly. My grandmother kicked me out. She was like, look, I was a knucklehead, getting in trouble all the time. I was on the road to like nowhere. So my grandmother kicked me out, sent me with her mother, who was like 78 years old. That's why you gotta understand these elders like Pam Africa, all these people are important to us. And we gotta understand that if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Family, we are right to be here today because our brother's been locked down for far too long. We know our brother should have never been locked down in the first place.
That's right.
We know an unjust system, COINTELPRO system, locked our brother down in the first place. And so we say free Mumia because we know our brother is at the core spirit of our soul. Mumia is a revolutionary. Mumia is a mentor to generations and generations of the struggle.
Mumia, Pam Africa comes over to me and she's like, we need a press conference. And I'm like, what? Who the hell is gonna come all the way to Timbuktu, deindustrialized Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere to a press conference? We've been doing this, I thought to myself, over and over and over again, and no one shows up. And Pam said something like, this is one of the most important prisoners. He's now sick because the state almost killed him, not through execution, but through negligence. And people are gonna show up. And I rolled my eyes. She mobilized the movement to put out the call, to write a press release, and the movement showed up, but so did the media en masse. And from that moment, for the first time in Philadelphia, Mumia's humanity was acknowledged.
You're young growing up in Philly. You grew up in the shadow of all of that white supremacist Philadelphia history. So people have already talked about what it would mean for the movement if Mumia came home. But I think we also need to stress how much it would mean to the youth who are in the streets struggling if Mumia came home.
And if they don't free them all, the seeds are going to continue to be in the street. Because we're not looking for justice from City Hall. We're not looking for justice from the courts. We know we've never ever got justice until we stayed out in the streets. And we're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to fight like hell. And we're going to continue to say that we want Mumia home. And we don't want him home now. We want him home right now. We want him home right now. 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 Right now.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you, thank you. To the sea, Palestine will be free. I love you all so much, and I want to bring solidarity greetings, revolutionary greetings. There was a brother at the march when we were marching here who was making the point that this is not just a Philadelphia issue, but it's a national issue. And I want to add that this is also a Palestinian issue. Mumia is our brother. He is our mentor. We have looked to Mumia and black revolutionaries for our entire struggle, for inspiration, for wisdom, and for guidance. And we reciprocate with the same love and solidarity. This is Alice Walker, who is a cultural icon, a civil rights leader, a feminist, a brilliant human being whose books have advanced the morality of this country, dared to question Israel's motivations for the violence that it inflicts daily on Palestinians. And Miss Walker, two things. She was reading a book by a man named, some British guy named David Icke, that everybody considers an anti-Semite. I don't know the man, but Miss Walker's free to read whatever she wants. It doesn't make her an anti-Semite. But she's been pilloried in the media, just like nearly every black revolutionary in this country has been pilloried at one point in their lives as an anti-Semite if they dare to express solidarity with Palestinians. And I want to say here that, as defiantly and resolutely as I can, that all of these people are our family. We don't have to agree with everything they do, but they are our family. They are not disposable. Minister Farrakhan is our brother. Mumia is our brother. Alice is our sister. Mark is our brother. We are family, and the only thing that's going to pass between us is love and solidarity.
I happen to be wearing today a t-shirt with a quote from Bobby Sands. You know, it's not just the Palestinians who support Mumia and our political prisoners. We got Irish political prisoners who support our political prisoners. We have, people all over the world who support our political prisoners. We have Basque political prisoners who support our political prisoners. We have Turkish political prisoners who support our political prisoners. We have been doing international work for a long, long time. So I think it's past time not only for Mumia to come home, it's past time for everybody to come home.
Mumia got this order from Judge Tucker to basically to say Mumia has a right to reopen his appeals. That's what he would be. Appealing, and that's one of the issues we have with Mumia's case, because the cops that framed him up, unfortunately, are still alive and well. Ed Rendell, who is direct hands, I can't go through this, but I know direct hands in framing Mumia up, he's still alive and well. The Democratic Party to the highest tops, the Clintons, Yes. They're all involved in this. This is not this is not a local issue. It's not only a national issue, it's an international issue. And this movement is an international movement, and we're going to get Mumia out by mobilizing in Philadelphia, in the United States, and internationally.
That's when we established Millions for Mumia, back in 1999. And we brought out 25,000 people in Philadelphia to stop that death warrant. And we set up Latinos for Mumia, we had rainbow flags for Mumia.
Asians for Mumia.
Asians for Mumia. Yeah, so anyway, I'm saying all this, sisters and brothers, and I want to bring it back to something that Ossie Davis said back in '95, I believe. The great Ossie Davis, and I'm paraphrasing, I wish I could remember the quote from Ossie Davis when he said that every generation has a task of, bringing forth, the struggle in a very important way. And he said our task at this time was to bring Mumia home. And it's really incumbent for the youth to know everything that they need to know about the struggle that has come before and the struggle that's going to come after, in terms of why it's important to be out in the streets to save Mumia. The courts are not going to do it, but the people will do it. And let's continue to struggle and to, as everybody's been saying, free all political prisoners, free Mumia Abu-Jamal, and free them all.